I'm going to be discussing a portion from the joy section, a portion from the hope section, and the conscientious chapter. I thought they were all so interesting. It was hard to pick the top three that stood out to me. I find it so fascinating how James Beck is able to use these character traits of personality and not only affirm that that is real, that people have these personality traits and similar characteristics within each other, but we can point them back to scripture and point ourselves back to the gospel of these character traits, like conscientiousness, right? Being open, being willing to do things. Well, how does that relate to joy, hope, these fruits of the Spirit? Starting with joy in chapter 3, one quote that really stuck out to me had to do with openness and being willing to try new things, new experiences, and being adaptable to change. And how that mentality towards life can actually lead to more joy. And it's because we are open to watching new experiences and able to experience God's love and care in a new way. It kind of ties into my next point, which is actually from chapter 4 about conscientiousness, where there's a quote that says, do not feel totally, personally, irrevocably responsible for everything. That's my job. Signed, God. And I thought that quote was so powerful, simple but powerful. I definitely define myself as type A, very motivated, dependable, hardworking, lists. I am always on track with what I need to do, which can be a good trait. It is definitely one of my strengths, but anything in too much can be bad. And so I really appreciated how this chapter was able to encapsulate that if we are so dependable on ourselves, it actually shows a lack of trust in God, which in turn can lead to anxiety, depression, lack of joy. And these are biblical principles that we can see, right? Cast your cares on the Lord. If he worries about the lilies, how much will we worry about you? Like time and time again, we're reminded to not worry, because obviously that's not a weight we were meant to carry. So those were two points from those chapters I really enjoyed. I also really enjoyed the hope portion of chapter 3. One header that stuck out to me was hope experienced. I thought that was so powerful because hope, just in verbiage, or if you just read about hope, or if you just learn about hope, but you don't experience hope for yourself, there is just such a difference between someone who has obtained hope and believes it for them versus just reiterating rhetoric that they've heard, right? So one quote I thought was really powerful is, no human experience is quite as powerful as the wonder of being able to see with our own eyes the fulfillment of hope that wells up from deep inside our souls. And I love that quote because humans, we are all longing for something. We know this. We are longing for new experiences with God. We are longing to have that spiritual meet the physical. And when we are able to watch hope played out, there is a new fruit that is birthed within us. When we are able to watch a testimony play out, when we are able to watch a life restored, when we are able to watch a life restored, it is something that cannot be taken away. It is something that cannot be changed or faltered, because you know your experiences, you know what you have experienced in your life, and that is something you can hold on to. That is something that will sustain you. Similarly to the joy portion, these are things that are not faltered by our outward circumstances, because it is fruit that is cultivated only in time, devotion, and relationship with him. So I definitely enjoyed these chapters, and I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the book.